I just got out of a mental institution. I'm not going to tell you why I was in a mental institution, bipolar, but instead tell you the hygiene kit story, my hygiene kit story. I work for a humanitarian organization and I volunteer in the community, and we're always talking about hygiene kits. I know the language, reduce disease and protect dignity, but I never really experienced what that meant. I thought that hygiene kits were just kind of nice to have, but boy, I was wrong. First day I was locked up, I had nothing. I brought a stick of deodorant with me. I knew I was checking into the loony bin, and the only thing I grabbed other than my phone was a stick of deodorant. But they took both from me. I woke up the next morning and I wanted to brush my teeth. I hadn't been sleeping. I'd just been drinking coffee, and my mouth felt gross. So I walk up to the front desk, and I'm like, do you have any toothpaste? And they said, oh, no, no, we don't have any toothpaste, or you can't have a toothbrush, or somebody's on break. We have to wait till they get back, something along those lines. So come back 3 hours later. So I say, okay. And by come back, like it was just one room. So they meant like go sit at a desk 5 feet away and color for 3 hours. So I did that. Then I go back and like, excuse me, do you have some toothpaste? And the next person on shift, amazingly found this tiny little tube of toothpaste in a desk drawer. And she was like, okay, here you go, but you have to bring this right back. So I run to my room, I brush my teeth with my finger, yuck, and then I bring the toothpaste right back like I'm supposed to. The next day, I asked for a toothpaste again because that's how it works. You have to brush your teeth every day. So I'm like, excuse me, do you have any toothpaste? And then the person on desk said, oh no, we don't give out toothpaste. And I was like, well, somebody did give me some toothpaste yesterday, and I think it's in that drawer. And thank goodness somebody else came and they gave me this tiny tube of toothpaste and a little prison toothbrush. And oh my gosh, I felt like the richest person in the world. I ran back to my room. I hid the toothpaste and the toothbrush because I didn't want anybody to take it. And I must have brushed my teeth 5 times that day. Then I saw that my roommate had a whole hygiene kit. She had deodorant, she had soap, she had shampoo. And I was like, oh, I want one of those. So, but how do you get one? Well, obviously you have to ask the staff. So I go up to the front desk and I'm all, sweetness and light. May I please have a hygiene kit? And the nurse, bless her heart, took pity on me and she went to the closet and she got out this little plastic tub and started filling it with all these little awesome items. And then she gives it to me and she says, here you go, but you have to bring this back. And by this time, I think you can see that it was very difficult to get things from the staff. So I did not want to bring it back, but I also did not want to break the rules. So I had to give up. I really wanted this hygiene kit, but I had to give it up. So I said, well, I'm really looking for something that I can keep in my room. How about a cup of pink soap? And the lady was like, what? So they had this like enormous jar of, elementary school pink hand soap that if you ask them for any hygiene supply, they would pour out a little bit of this soap into a styrofoam cup and give it to you. And that's what I had been using for everything for the past 4 days. But apparently that was not standard operating procedure because she had no idea what I was talking about. And then she got busy with somebody else. So I took the hygiene kit and I left and I hid it and I still have it. Here is the hygiene kit. It has, that's moisturizer, deodorant, right? Uh, Soap, this kind of soap. And here's my little prison toothbrush. See, I can't stab anybody with that. So please consider donating hygiene supplies to your church, mosque, school, or community center, they are way more important than you think. Thank you for joining me tonight for my 50th birthday. Yay, the big 50. A lot has happened since 1976. I just wanted to share some of the people who are important to me and give them space to talk about all the awesome things that we're doing together. This first clip is a poem by a very dear friend of mine who is in an unimaginable situation. This is Amjad from Gaza.
Okay, Christian, how are you? This is Amjad. It's 3 p.m. I'm right now at work, and this is Gaza. This is the street, my work. You look. Hello, my name's Amjad, physical therapist by degree, humanitarian worker by vocation, and for the past years I have worked in the humanitarian field with different organizations in Gaza. Right now I work in logistics with Médecins Sans Frontières, Doctors Without Borders, and this is my story. During this war, I was one of people trying to support and comfort others who lost their homes, their families, and their normal lives. I always thought I could carry other people's pain until one day I found myself needing someone to comfort me too. The story started on December 3rd, 2023. My family and I were forced to leave our home in eastern Khan Yunis after the IDF entered our area. We left with fear and sadness for everything we had to leave behind, our house, our memories, and the small details of our daily life. With the heavy bombing and the sound of explosions everywhere, it felt impossible to have hope. We thought our home was gone forever, but we are lucky. In May 2024, after the army partially left the area, we went back to see what happened, and the whole neighborhood was destroyed. Everything around us was rubble. But somehow, only a few meters from Salahuddin Street, our home was still standing. That moment felt unbelievable, Alhamdulillah. It felt like life came back to us again. Even though the area was destroyed and unsafe, our home was still there, holding what was like what was left of our memories, love, and sense of belonging. My father kept visiting the house often. He repaired what he could and took care of it like he was protecting the last part of our old life. Even while the war continued, and even though the IDF was only around 400 meters away, the idea of being close to our home gave us peace. Whenever we could, we visited the home. We sat inside, breathed the familiar air, and felt like we got part of ourselves back. Slowly, hope started to grow again inside us. Then came the ceasefire in October 2025, and for the first time in a long time, we felt lucky. Our home was still alive. But in early 2026, IDF operations started moving closer to our area again, and danger returned even during the ceasefire. My father still visited the home even a few days. Sometimes he stood across the street watching bulldozers destroy homes one after another. He saw things no human being should ever see. And somehow our house was still standing until May 23rd, 2026. This day, we received the news that whole area has been destroyed and bulldozed. We never imagined we would truly lose our home, not after holding on to hope for 2.5 years, not after every visit we made just to feel like part of us was still there. The pain of losing it's impossible to describe. Not only because we lost walls and stones, Even those stones carried our memories. My father built that home with his own hands. He designed it with old handmade stones, warm lights, and beautiful details that came from the heart and were built with love over many years. But more than that, we lost the place that held our dreams, our memories, and our hope to coming back home one day. War doesn't only destroy houses, it leaves a huge pain inside people. It forces them. It forces them to imagine a new life they never wanted. And today, all we can do just to try again, to search for a new place that can hold our energy, our dreams, and our hope to continue living, and to create new memories despite all the pain and the trauma this war left inside us. And despite everything, we are still trying to live. Thank you.
Hello. If you were moved by that poem, please consider calling your congressperson. They are talking about merging the US and Israeli armies, so that is bad. Soldiers in the Israeli Defense Force kill themselves just like our veterans do because they can't deal with the trauma. So we don't need American troops messed up in that. Changing gears, I'd like to introduce a friend of mine. She is right here on the call. Aisha is a home birth midwife, author, and international trainer and lecturer, raising awareness about women's rights in childbirth and providing life-saving emergency skills and trainings. She also enjoys working on peace and humanitarian projects.
Hi, Gretchen. How are you? Happy birthday.
Thank you.
I just watched that video with you and my heart is just ripped out. Amani Birth is an international childbirth education program, and we work with local women around the world, teaching them the how to, how to navigate the medical system and find their rights in childbirth. On one hand, trying to bring humanity back to childbirth. But when I watched that video, I wanted to also share that we have a project in Gaza. Can you imagine what it is to give birth in the kind of environment that your friend just shared with us? He was sharing his heartfelt pain, and that didn't even count that women are pregnant and giving birth in that situation as well. So since you showed that video first, I just want to share that there is great need in Gaza and other places in the world where either it's war-torn like Gaza is, or where there is no health care. Women have to travel great distances to get health care. They arrive and then there's no care. There's no hospital. The hospital doesn't have electricity, or the doctor's not there. There's no needed medications. There's a lot of trauma that happens in childbirth. Childbirth is supposed to be the most joyful time in a woman's life. And I always say that peace on earth begins with birth. And that's not something that's not a phrase that I coined, by the way. That's a very common saying within the childbirth arena, that peace on earth begins with birth. And we need to be able to provide peaceful births to the mothers and the children that are being born, because the way that a woman gives birth is going to affect her for the rest of her life. And the way that a baby is born is going to affect him or her for the rest of their life. How they bond and interact with their mother is going to have an impact on how they bond and interact in their adult relationships later on. And it affects our communities forever. There's a Native American saying, Gretchen, it says, if you want to create a tribe of warriors, traumatize them in childbirth. And if you want to create a tribe of peacemakers, then you coddle or love them, care for them through their birth. Such wisdom and the impact that birth has on us as people and on us as communities of people. So it's super, super important to me that we bring humanity back to birth. We have two issues in birth. We have the not enough care, not enough support that you might find in a camp where we have refugees, or in a place like Gaza, or in a African village, perhaps, or an Indonesian island, or a mountainside somewhere in Afghanistan, and various places around the world where they can't get care. We call that too little too late. They need care and they can't get it, and so they suffer. But then we also have problems in the industrialized nations like the United States and others, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, UK, UAE, even the places where we think birth is wonderful and great and we have all the medicine and all the support that we need. We have what's called too much too soon, where we intervene with women who don't need intervention, and then we actually cause trauma because we intervene when they don't need intervention. So we have the conundrum where one side too little too late, the other side is too much too soon. And my goal is really for mothers in the industrialized nations to know what their rights are, for them to be able to speak with intelligence with their care providers so that they can have their birth choices respected, so that they can prepare physically, mentally, emotionally. And then when we look at places like Gaza, we have humanitarian aid projects going on where we collect funds to ensure that those mothers have the food that they need to grow a healthy baby and to produce milk to feed their babies. And that sisters have the training to support each other in childbirth, because sometimes they don't get to go to a medical care provider or medical facility because of what's happening in their world. So I appreciate you taking a minute, Gretchen, just to listen to me talk about childbirth. Is my passion. And I truly believe that peace on earth begins at birth, Gretchen. Thank you so much for letting me share.
Thank you so much. Where can people go to learn more?
AmaniBirth.com is our website. On there, you will find a link to my phone number, actually, and they can hit me up with a WhatsApp message, and I can talk to them more. We don't have anything public about our charitable work in Gaza. We keep that kind of private and behind the scenes, but that does happen, and we work with sisters in the tents, and we provide them education, and we make sure that they're that they have enough food and the things that they need as best as we can in the situation that they're living in. So
Thank you so much. I'll drop all the links in the comments when I'm done. So thank you very much. I worked at Trader Joe's for about 15 minutes. A dude who was training me took me out to the parking lot to wrangle grocery carts. He said, "Here's how you strap up 6 carts. I do 5 or 6. Definitely don't do 9. Dale will tell you you can do 9. Do not listen to Dale." So then he ropes up 6 carts to show me, and he pulls them out and glides them very smoothly into their corral like a normal person. The first time I try it on my own, I count out 6 carts, I loop it up like I'm supposed to, I pull it backwards out of the corral, and the carts go flying everywhere. I'm like chasing them down. I have to like climb on top of them to try to get them to stop hitting the cars. So 3 carts. 3 carts is my personal best. Fuck you, Dale, with your 9 carts. I don't know where you have to be. Now I have the privilege of introducing, let's see, another good friend of mine. She is VP of Programs and Hosting for People to People Delaware. She is an international educator, globe walker, artist, collector, born and raised in Newark, Delaware. She has traveled several times over the past year to Africa, especially Ghana and Togo. This is Erin Bastion.
Gretchen, thank you. Also, Gretchen, happy birthday. Holla, Gretchen. So hi everybody. First of all, thank you, Gretchen, for organizing this for your birthday. You are a generous and selfless, caring person, and I'm so happy to be your friend. First of all. Um, but Gretchen invited me here today to talk about some of the work that I've been doing in West Africa alongside a friend of mine who is named Nula Babson Atiso. He is from Togo. And he really has been a leader in this effort to bring community members together in Togo, also in Ghana, and all over West Africa, really, to work together in interfaith peacemaking teams where they support each other in local initiatives in order to sort of benefit the society at large. And so one of the projects that he has introduced to me has been really fascinating. So he has built a working collaborative of 250 small shareholder farmers, and together they grow cassava. And cassava, I realized when I was over there, is the same thing as yucca. So if anybody knows what yucca is, it's the same as cassava. So basically, this crop is very climate stable, so it can withstand droughts, it can withstand long periods of rain or sun. And so that makes it a really great crop and reliable for the people who grow it. But the best thing about it is that it can be, after harvest, it can be turned into a staple food that is shelf stable and really able to fill bellies for a for like in a really large and impactful way. So basically, taking the cassava, what they do over there in Pomé is they cut up the cassava and then they actually have to have it sent to a different location where it's then grated into shreds. Then it's transported back to them. They let the kind of toxic liquid actually drain out of it, and then it's pressed so that it's dry, and it's shredded, then it's roasted. I'm sorry, not shredded, it's sieved. It goes through a sieve so that it's really nice and fluffy. And then it's roasted over an open fire in order to then let it cool. And once it comes out of this process, it turns into something that looks a lot like, it feels a lot like panko breadcrumbs. But the best thing about it is that it doesn't go bad, and you can add it to any sort of liquid, any liquid at all, and it turns into a solid. So it's really great at filling bellies. And so we are raising money for this village in Togo, which is New Love's village. And we're hoping with a little bit of help, the first thing that we would buy would be a grinder, like a mill. So these people can actually grind their own cassava and not have to schedule a driver, pay a driver, and pay a loader and all of that. It'd be much easier for them. So I think that Gretchen is sending out links after this. So I'll make sure that Gretchen has, we put a little booklet together about the work that we're doing in Togo, and if you're interested, where you could help support this project. So Gretchen, thank you so much for having me on your live stream.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Okay.
I was late. Typical.
Bless you. Thank you. I am a divorced romance writer, not a great combination. I was a ghostwriter, and that means that I got paid on contract to write a book, and the money, the author was the client, and they get the money. Ha ha ha, there's no money. half the time I'd have to sign NDAs. So I worked for a company that did romance, and what they would do is they'd have another person who'd hash out the outline with the client, and then I'd take the outline and turn it into a book. I was like ChatGPT before ChatGPT, and I still am, actually. So I will take responsibility for my own trashy writing, but I'm not going to take responsibility for everything in these books. Some of these outlines were real garbage. Like, for example, there was one time the outline had the mafia boss, yes, mafia romance, yuck. The mafia boss reviewing the meeting minutes from his last talk with the underbosses. Now, I'm no criminal mastermind, but I'm pretty sure that the mob doesn't keep meeting minutes. I wouldn't if I was running a cocaine and sex trafficking ring out of the back of a Waffle House. This is how I imagine that board meeting going. Let the minutes reflect that B word better have my money. Can I get a motion to approve? Aye. So noted. The minutes reflect B word better have that money. Now, who's going to get it? Oh, I can't. I'm busy until Thursday. I'm going to Bermuda. Oh my God, I love Bermuda. Yeah, my husband and I have this house there. You guys, I could probably text B word if that would be helpful. Oh, yes, that would be super helpful, but I don't have her phone number right now. I think I have a business card at home. Scene. Our next speaker, Sposmai Pasarli, is a women's rights advocate, community leader, and administrative professional with over 10 years of experience in administration and public engagement. She is passionate about empowering women, promoting education, and supporting positive change within the Afghan community. Sposmai?
Hello, dear friends. I don't know, my video is on, and can you hear me?
Yes. I can hear you, but I can't see you. And you're gone. Okay, well, while we're waiting for her to come back, I'm going to show you something else. This video clip is loosely based on a summer job that I had. I'm sorry, this clip is loosely based on a summer job that my young adult children had at a cheap car rental place.
He hired you. Maybe you could hire me?
Why would I hire you?
Because you know me.
If Rashid Bhai doesn't work here, I won't work here.
Shame on you.
Shame on you.
Look, boy, I have two new rules. Number one, I leave my office only once a day. Number two, you only get to ask one question. Just once.
One question a day or like one question ever?
One question a day. And there goes your question. Genius.
Got it. Hey, buddy. Guess your luck. There's a job opportunity coming your way, but you gotta be here right now. That's the catch, you know? Like right now, like as soon as possible, like right now. Hey, what's the company policy on things found in cars?
One question a day, which you have already exhausted.
Okay, I may have exhausted mine, but Amar still has his. So I'm his proxy.
There is a lost and found box right in the back.
Okay, what if we found something illegal? Like a...
Do we have a problem?
No. I mean, maybe.
Like I said, problem solvers.
You're right. I'm gonna be a problem solver. I am a problem solver. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how I'm doing it. And the customers, they hate me. They keep hitting on me. They're so pissed off about everything. I don't know what to do. And that goddamn camera, they keep staring at me, following me everywhere. It's giving me paranoia. And I feel like I'm part of the Truman Show now. And if it's gonna stare at me, I might as well give it to him. Hey, in case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Whoa.
Give me the keys. Now. You too.
Relax, guys. No one's getting hurt.
You give me the keys right now.
I can't do that. You do not have a driver's license.
Where is she? Where's my daughter?
Sir, Benji, sir, it's I.
Where's Nina, you rat-faced bastard? Where's my daughter? Where's my daughter, huh? Where's Nina?
Choke him
I'll
harder,
kill you.
Daddy. Daddy, choke him harder.
Get away from me! Where's Nina, huh? I'll kill you!
I got this.
Okay. Yay! Thank you so much for watching that. Here's Spos my Pasarli. Oh.
I think now I'm good. I'm sorry.
Glad to see you.
Gretchen, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. I can
Oh,
hear
that's
you.
great. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I'm so happy today with you guys. So, yeah, today I will talk about Afghan women in Afghanistan and their condition and situation. So, I will share my speech with you guys. Women in Afghanistan, the need for education, economic empowerment, and inclusive participation. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate. Distinguished guests, respected representatives, and dear participants. Today, under the theme of 50 years of global friendship, I would like to speak about the situation of women in Afghanistan, their challenges, opportunities, and hopes for the future. Women make up half of Afghan society and play a vital role in strengthening families, supporting the economy, and building social stability. However, many Afghan women and girls continue to face serious challenges in accessing education, economic opportunities, and meaningful participation in society. Education is the foundation of progress. When a girl is denied education, it's not only her future that's affected, her family, community, and country also lose valuable potential. For this reason, expanding access to education for girls must be a national priority and an investment in Afghanistan's future. Economic empowerment is equally important. Providing women with opportunities for employment, vocational training, entrepreneurship, and access to market can help lift families out of poverty and contribute to economic growth and self-reliance. Women should also have a meaningful voice and discussion that affect their communities and their country. No development plan can be truly successful if the perspectives and experiences of half the population are excluded. I respectfully call on the authorities in Afghanistan to take practical and timely steps to expand educational opportunities for girls and create pathways for women's economic participation. I also call on the international community, United Nations agencies, donors, and humanitarian organizations to continue supporting Afghan women and girls through education, skills development, and economic empowerment programs. There are several particular steps that can help move us forward. Reopen educational opportunities for girls and support their continued learning. Expand vocational and technical training programs for women. Create financial support programs and small business opportunities for women entrepreneurs. Increase access to online education and digital skills training. Ensure women's participation in development discussions and community decision making. Strengthen long-term investments in education, health, and economic empowerment for women. Ladies and gentlemen, today our message is not only about challenges, it's also about solution and action. The future of Afghanistan depends on education, economic opportunities, and participation of all its people. Let us work together so that every Afghan girl can learn, every woman can contribute, and every citizen can play a role in building a peaceful, stable, and prosperous Afghanistan. Because when women progress, Afghanistan progresses. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much for participating.
You are most welcome. I'm so happy with you that I'm here with you.
Thank you. Thank you. This is hard.
Appreciate it.
This isn't a relatable problem. This is a writer problem. This is a writer's problem who are parents. I write about my kids. I've written about all my kids' exes because I'm a romance writer and my kids are adults. I wrote a book about one and a screenplay about the other. I'm like the Taylor Swift of mother-in-laws. Oh, I'm just getting a phone call. Okay.
We saw that.
I know. This is my phone call.
Gretchen, happy birthday! They said you were turning 50. Really? Come on, you ain't fooling nobody. You still look 35. Anyway, I just wanted to wish you a happy birthday. I hope that you're enjoying your celebration today with all your friends, your family, and all your loved ones who really, really appreciate you being in their lives. Also, tomorrow is Juneteenth, which is a great time to learn and reflect about the history and the significance of that day. Now, if you want to learn more about it, Dr. Abdullah Muhammad is giving a talk about it this Saturday, 10:45 a.m. at the Delaware City Library. So do not be late. Once again, Gretchen, happy 50th birthday. I hope this year is the absolute best for you and more.
This is so. Okay, all right. Well, I'll tell this other story then. So I'm into hiking. Not so much in the area. Well, you know what? I have somebody else on the phone who asked me if he could say something, and I said no. But I'm gonna say yes. Dr. Khan, are you still here? No. Okay. All right, then I'll go into my story. So I'm into hiking, not so much in the area our next speaker is going to be talking about, but same mountain range. I was down in North Carolina when I was 16 as part of a Bad Kid Wilderness Rehab program, although I was there by choice. We had just hiked for 15 miles across uneven terrain with 40 pounds on our backs. It was dark, everyone was starving, and me and a friend of mine were in charge of cooking. It was spaghetti. We boiled the spaghetti way too long and it dissolved and kind of formed this like sludge layer on the top, which kind of looked a little bit like cheese if you were really hungry, which I was. And my brain, the same brain that created the problem, was like, oh, maybe it's cheese. No, it was not cheese. All right. Well, I had another guest, but he's not here. So I guess I will close a little bit early, you guys. Let's see. I'm gonna close with a version of We Didn't Start the Fire that I wrote a couple years ago and had produced randomly for no reason. Thank you all for joining me.
Gretchen, can you hear me?
Yes, I will stop this. Yes, who is that?
That's Aisha. I'm driving, but Salim is texting me. I think he doesn't know how to unmute. He did want to talk.
Who doesn't know how to unmute? I'm sorry. I don't know what to say. Maybe oh boy.
Dr. Salim, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, I think you blocked his microphone, Gretchen, when he was talking earlier.
So I did. So it says ask to unmute and I'm pushing that, but it's not doing anything. So it's really nice that he wants to say something. Maybe I'll just call him and put him on speakerphone. Let's see. All right, I'm calling him now. That's Dr. Khan.
Hello.
Hi, salam alaikum. You're live on Facebook.
How are you? Happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
This is so great, so unusual, and just amazing. But I wrote more of a traditional poem for you,
Oh, great.
which I'm going to share. And you know how you have helped me with all these things. My title is You Are the Best, and I mean it. Okay. So kind and thoughtful, so cheerful and bright, a joy to everyone around you. Always smiling, always respectful, always ready to lend a helping hand, never seeking attention, yet truly remarkable. Your warmth leaves a lasting impression. You have touched many lives through kindness, humility, and loyalty, and through your generous spirit. Today, you celebrate 50 wonderful years. We gather to wish you a happy birthday. Dear Gretchen, you are truly special.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, I'm gonna hang up. That was very awesome. Dr. Khan actually writes so many poetry, so many poems. He's very prolific. So that was very special. Thank you so much. Okay. Oh, excellent. Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Khan, for that poem. And now we have another speaker who is a real estate agent from Garrett County, which is a rural area in Maryland in the Appalachian Mountains. Thank you so much for being with us, Chris.
Hi, Gretchen. Yeah, great to be with you.
Did you want to give us a talk? Are you going to be able to share some maps or anything like that?
Sure. I'll do a little story here. I think we went over that a little bit with when I first talked to you. But I live in Garrett County, Maryland, and it's in the Appalachian Mountains. We're nice and green and beautiful right now. The Appalachians are in the east coast of United States, and we have the nice rounded mountains. So a lot of times people think of mountains and they think of the big jaggedy peaks with the snow on them, but we're more in the older mountains of the Appalachians. They've been rounded by millions of years of erosion and all of that. And I, was born here and moved back after about 20 years of being away. And I really fell in love with the area again. Got really into the history and the outdoors experience of being here. And there's a lake it's called Deep Creek Lake, and it was made back in 1925. And got interested in the history of that and looked back into, what made Deep Creek Lake, kind of what was before Deep Creek Lake. And there was a really interesting survey. I can't share that screen, but I'll talk about a little bit about the maps, and really found that there was no single place you could find that showed all of the hiking and biking and outdoor activity in the area. So I decided to make my own map. So if anyone remembers paper maps, this is like the standard, fold out type of a map from the gas stations and travel centers of old. This one's waterproof, tear resistant, and it shows all of the hiking and biking and outdoor recreation experiences in my area. So it's kind of a combination of, I knew a lot of this computer GIS stuff from work, but you kind of learn as you go. And the great thing about making a map like that is you have to go out and find all those spots and make sure that they're really there. And as they are represented in the computer world, you go out and see if they're actually there in the real world. So it really got me out. There's about 50 different, what I call trail areas in where I live in Garrett County. And that can range anywhere from a little town paved path that's a 1/4 mile long to a, much longer, 15, 20 mile trail system out in the middle of the woods. But I've been to all of them at this point now and kind of documented, what each of those is like, doing a little video trail tour. And hopefully that gets people out and enjoying all this stuff that we've got here. There's a lot of state land in Garrett County, some federal land, and so that's all public land that people can go out and enjoy and get out there and experience what's so great about kind of this part of where we this part of Appalachia. So that's kind of the nutshell of what I've been, what I'm into and what I like. The little story I wanted to share, and I didn't print out any pictures of this particular spot, but when I was doing the research on the history of where I am before the engineers flooded what would become Deep Creek Lake, they did a survey back in 1824 to kind of look to see if it could be a continuation of a larger canal route. And they found this really interesting feature that they noted in their survey called the Falls of Deep Creek. And also this really interesting rock formation called the Devil's Castle. And the Devil's Castle was this highly undercut cliff that the author of the survey said looked like it was going to fall upon you at any moment. And I was kind of expecting, I read that, it was written in 1824. The lake was formed in 1925. So I'd expected that, maybe these interesting looking features had been just covered up by the lake when it was flooded. But doing some research from making my maps, I found that there was actually a piece of Deep Creek that downstream of the dam that was not flooded, that persisted. And through a lot of kind of research of LiDAR and aerial imagery, and then a lot of off-trail bushwhacking, I did find that the Falls of Deep Creek and the Devil's Castle are still there. They're not really they're on public land, but they're not really, there's no trails or anything back to them. And the experience was just as terrifying as the surveyor described when you're standing below this massive rock pile. Goes up about 50 feet in the air and you're looking straight up at it and it looks like it could collapse on you at any moment. But the falls are beautiful and wonderful. And if you're really interested in checking out more about all that stuff, my website, dimesy.com, DIMESY, have, links to the videos I post on YouTube and all of the blog posts and all the stuff that I dig deep down into about the history of my area. So that's my little story. That's my website. These are my maps. That's kind of my 5 minutes, I think.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for coming on.
You're welcome.
And
Yeah.
it is such a beautiful area that you live in.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right, friends. So now I'm going to cue up the We Didn't Start the Fire, and I would like to thank you all for joining us.
Spotify, Instagram, border wall, Keystone Pipeline paywall. Insurrection, burnt toast, rappers on the west coast. Y2K, blockbusters fall, Pokemon, gotta catch them all. Martha Stewart went to jail, who wants to be a millionaire? Grilled cheese, dream a scream, Baby Yoda, viral meme. We didn't start the fire, when I'm saying it's good, it's gonna come along. We didn't start the fire, no we can't deny it, but we try to fight it. Sandy Hook, CSI, Israel in Palestine, Funko Pop, Epstein, Brexit and the New Deal green. Americans in Afghanistan, Americans in Iraq again. Hackers trash the British pound, Confederate statues coming down. Prime Mortgage, Breonna Taylor, AOC, Flappy Impaler. March for Women, 1%ers, Julian Assange. Ninja Turtles here to stay. Cancel culture, make them pay. We didn't start the fire, when I'm saying it's good, it's gonna come along. We didn't start the fire, no we can't deny it, but we try to fight it. Student debt, white fragility, my pillow and democracy. SpongeBob, ChatGPT, better double cheese with me. Bombing Boston Marathon, something's really going wrong. Marijuana legalized, chicken restaurant, call me thighs. Obama, big tech startup, African drought, Stanley Cup, Netflix, Tide Pods, Amazon Prime, COVID vaccine, Notre Dame. Taylor Swift, Disney Plus, Trevor Noah, April Love, Subprime Mortgage, Microsoft, Skynet,